Welcome to Copilots, the podcast where we watch not just the first episode of a show,
but also the second. Some shows don't have the best pilot episode, and giving it a second chance might just change your mind.
Here, we take that chance for you and let you know our opinion on if a show deserves more than just one shot.
I'm Justice. Alongside me is my co-pilot Josh. Now, let's get ready for takeoff. Your in-flight entertainment this time will be Alien Earth.
So Alien Earths is a Discovery Channel movie about how Earth could have developed differently based on how the genetic evolution lines could have been different.
Yeah, that's right. We're back with our second take on a documentary. It's been a while. They're weird and kind of hard to do.
And like I said, it's a movie, so it's a little bit outside of our wheelhouse. Normally we review TV shows.
But there's at least two Earths, and we're going to talk about the first two they talk about in the documentary.
Yep. Alien Earths is about multiple versions of how life could have developed.
Yeah, and weirdly, in the documentary, they call them episodes for the planets. It's odd.
I don't know if that's true, but Alien Earth is actually the documentary I was describing.
Yeah, I know.
Because we are reviewing this month, the first part of October, in our horror-themed month,
the new FX show, Alien Earth, based on the Alien franchise.
Indeed. And it's because Alien is ostensibly a horror franchise.
Yeah.
Although I feel like the further you go in the series, the less horror they get.
That's true for most horror franchises.
So, we are reviewing the spin-off horror movie series, Alien Earth, which sounds like it should be a documentary about,
It really does. Like, I'm expecting David Attenborough, or if we're getting funky with it, maybe of Werner Herzog, but like something.
Alien Earth really feels like it's the documentary from, looking at how life developed on Earth from a non-human perspective.
Yeah.
And, I would watch that.
Like, what is strange about Earth? Like, we're taking this lens of, you've never heard of this place, it's weird, it's foreign, and...
Carbon-based life?
Yeah. Or they would do the other thing where it's like, we're going to talk more about just the weird things you find on Earth that are so alien to you. Earth itself is still an alien planet. They would go for one of those two takes.
Like cephalopods.
Yeah. Or any living organism that uses chemosynthesis.
What are those giant worm things that live underground that tremors were based off of?
Yeah.
Or
fungi in general.
Yeah. Well, fungi and cephalopods are similarly interesting because they broke off of fungi broke off of the animal kingdom a long time ago. And cephalopods broke off from all other aquatic life a long time ago.
The closest human ancestor to cephalopod is a jawless fish.
And most jawless fish don't exist anymore.
I think there's
eels.
two.
Eels are the primary jawless fish in the world.
It's basically an eel, but it's more like worm-esque.
Yeah.
It's
like how the elephant's closest living relative is a tiny little I don't remember what it's called, but it's almost a shrew, but it's not.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Or God, I love evolution.
It's fucking wild, man.
Did you know all water mammals, dolphins, whales, etc., evolved from a land animal?
Yep.
In that, all mammals evolved from aquatic life.
Yep.
And then...
a random land mammal evolved back into sea life.
Yes.
Yeah, baby. Fucking wild.
It's why dolphins and whales have finger bones.
Yes, but they have vestigial legs and finger bones.
I love science
they have hip
so
bones.
Much.
Fish don't have hips. There are no reason for whales and dolphins to have hips. It's why they swim the weird way they do with their tails horizontal instead of vertical.
It's why all sea mammals have horizontal tails instead of vertical tails.
Because
fish have vertical, whales have horizontal.
Yeah, because it's based on hips rather than, I guess, a more flexible spine column?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you do all the maneuvering by moving their hips and then their quote-unquote legs, whereas fish are just like, yo, I'm like a snake, my spine all wiggly.
That was the sound of wiggling.
Yes, it was.
God, this is good. This is such a shaggy episode already. We're reviewing Alien Earth. I think we've said that a couple times now.
And we're starting with episode 1.
Entitled Neverland.
Yes.
Because there's a lot of Peter Pan in this.
Yeah, but because FX is owned by the same conglomerate that owns Warner, by which I mean, I'm pretty sure, because it's...
No, FX is part of Fox. Fox is owned by Disney.
Oh, yeah.
Disney owns FX.
Okay, yeah, sorry. I forgot FX was Fox and not something Warner. Either way, but because it's owned by Disney, there's actual, like, Disney Peter Pan images and stuff in it.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Yep, it's weird.
So,
honestly, it constantly drew me out of the film. That and it's so far in the fucking future and they're still watching Peter Pan like that.
It's not so far in the future.
It's 2120.
How is it 2120? They definitely make reference to, like...
A 1970 sports game? Yes, but it's 2120.
Okay,
it's that fun thing where things are set so far in the future, but instead of creating a history in between now and that future, they only hyper-focus on the things in the past. Star Trek The Next Generation does it super fucking hard.
No, I was going to say, that's one of the things I hate most about Star Trek.
Star Trek does it so hard.
Like, it's one of my least favorite science tropes is it's 150 years in the future, and instead of, like, being obsessed with, like, their recent past, like, modern people, they're obsessed with, like, what would the equivalent be? Everybody's a Civil War geek.
Yeah.
It'd be like if today everybody was a Civil War geek and like doing debutante balls and like, oh, it's just rich white people. My bad. Fuck.
Fair, except one of the people we see obsessed with 1970 sports game is not rich. They are white, though.
They are trying to emulate rich societies. Even like the poorest white people in America still think they're disillusioned billionaires sometimes.
Yeah.
Or
fair enough.
Disenfranchised billionaires. Like, I'm gonna be a billionaire in the future. I'm gonna be
fair enough. But, you know, that is a huge problem with sci-fi a lot. They just don't take the time to build a world between now and then.
Yeah, it's like, I thought, oh, this character's obsessed with the book Peter Pan. Like, that makes sense. Books, like, are timeless. And a lot of books are essentially timeless, and Peter Pan is one of them. But the fact that they're, like, actually still watching the 70s or 80s, whenever the animated movie came out, maybe 60s or 50s, Peter Pan.
Then you're telling me it hasn't been remade since then?
Well, it's Disney. Of course it hasn't been remade. It had a live-action movie probably in, like, 2027, 2028. But, like, that
2030. Don't lie to yourself. 2030. They're running out of stuff to make live actions, but they're going to keep doing it.
But that flopped, and nobody cared about it. So, like, yeah, it's the animated movie. They're not remaking that. Then instead, they'll just re-release it from the vault every, like, 15, 20 years and be like, from the vault for the very first time on Blu-ray 2.
On VR. Duh.
No, VR is the next time they do it.
Fair enough.
Experience Peter Pan like never before. In real-time VR. Live the fantasy.
Join the Lost Boys?
Yeah, exactly.
Fly through the skies, blah, 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 whatever.
Yep. Yeah. Jesus, I can't believe I'm doing ad reads for Disney in a decade. Oh, fuck me. Disney, you don't have permission to use this ever. I don't care if I'm living, dead, or signed paperwork saying otherwise. This is my living will and testament. You don't have permission to use my voiceover. You have my permission to use mine as long as I'm alive and have been compensated $1.35 million. You don't think the economy is going to crash and $1.35 million is going to be the same as $140 today? I'm still fine with it because they only get the licensing rights for a single release. Any additional releases or streaming rights, I get return on streaming. I get some of that money. And then for any re-release, they owe me a subsequent 1.35 adjusted for inflation to today's market value. So, Alien Earth opens. I tried to do this a moment ago. Yeah. But like, aboard the USCSS Maginot. I don't know how to say it. No one says it. I'm not going to remember. Maginot. Maginot. It's like Magi and astronaut mine. Mm-hmm. Maginot. It's more like someone just like slurring the words imagine and not Maginot. Which is a ship that is owned by, if you're familiar with the series, corporate villains, Weyland Yutani. Yes, and it is, as is normal for Weyland Yutani spaceships we see in the Alien franchise, a science vessel, and they are on a 65-year mission. They're collecting specimens, and that's always worked out well for them in the past. Well, maybe in the past. I don't know what future year Alien is set in. I can't remember. Well, this is 2120. Let's check when Alien takes place. This is a good little divergence from our episode, even though we've only been actually... That doesn't work. That's not the right sentence, Josh. I typed, when does 2120 take place? The original film takes place in 2122, so this is 2 years before. Oh, okay. This is 2 years before the events of the first film. Never mind. This is the earliest point in the timeline. The series goes Alien Earth, Alien Romulus, Aliens, Alien Cubed, Alien Resurrection. Alien Resurrection takes place in 2381. Where's Prometheus fit in there? Not listed here. I guess more part of the franchise films. So I thought so too. Jesus, there's so much Alien content. And also, this is the worst named franchise in the history of the franchise. Prometheus came out in 2012. It looks like it takes place...
It says in the late 21st century.
2093.
Okay.
So Prometheus is actually the first part of the timeline. That's not true either. The actual first part of the timeline is something called the Peter Whalen Files, TED Conference 2023.
Okay.
Which takes place in 2023.
All right.
There's a series of short films called the Peter Whalen Files, which take place between the years 2023 and 2091.
Okay. Fair enough, I guess.
Interesting and useless facts that nobody ever needs to know about.
But, so, that throws a lot of things out of whack for me.
Why? How so?
I guess not. Ostensibly, fucking Sigourney Weaver's flight would be in progress way before. They're already in...
They're already in space. They're already almost to their encounter with aliens.
Yeah, fair enough. So...
It is just funny that, like, what we as a society in real life view as, like, the first alien is predated by 2 years earlier by aliens, like...
Literally being on Earth.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Spoiler. An alien gets to Earth. Whoever would have guessed from the name.
Based on the name, I assume aliens take over the Earth, which can't compute with, like, what actually happens in the franchise. But, like, Alien Earth to me implies that, like, Earth is now an alien colony.
Well, it's actually gonna do some weird shit like Planet of the Apes, and, like, it gets wonky. Ripley's actually an alien, and she just isn't aware of it, and, like, it's weird. No, but seriously, back to the actual stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The crew wakes up from some cryo sleep, kind of just explain what's going on.
So I think, like, lore-wise in the show...
Lore-wise, they are changing shifts.
Yeah, lore-wise, they wake up and change.
Yeah, there are people who need to be awake to make sure the ship is operating effectively. Probably to do research on the specimens they created.
Also, I think, like, it's just a cryo thing, right? Like...
Maybe.
I think in universe, you can't just cryo sleep for 60 years and not get, like, have negative repercussions.
I think maybe, I can't remember. But either way, classic sci-fi stuff.
Look, I haven't seen Alien or Aliens in at least 15 years. Additionally, I've never seen any other Alien movie or any piece of Alien franchise other than those two movies and some video game gameplay. So my knowledge of the Alien universe... Oh, I guess I saw Alien versus Predator as well. Yeah. My knowledge of the Alien universe is basically non-existent at this point.
Fair.
So I'm assuming that, like, part of the reason why they have to wake up is because you can't just cryo sleep your way for years.
Fair enough. And even if you could, classic sci-fi thing, someone has to man the ship.
Yeah.
So they're changing shifts, and we get this opportunity to be given exposition. There are 4 major companies in charge of Earth.
Nope, 5 now.
4. The 5th one is in charge of the moon, and that's Dynamic.
No, there's 4 major companies in charge of the Earth,
yeah.
and now a 5th one. Dynamic is an Earth company as well. They just also own the moon. And there's Weyland-Yutani, who I think own Mars, or another Jupiter like or something. And then another company that owns Mars, and then there's this new company.
Weyland-Yutani controls Mars and Saturn.
Yeah, there we go. And this new company that has recently started up and has taken a big portion of Earth called Prodigy.
Yeah.
And they're all vying for power and control of the Earth.
And we're told that Prodigy is owned/ran by that boy genius.
His name is Boyd Cavalier.
Yeah.
Which is both, like, the most comic book name ever.
Yeah.
And, like...
Look, Boyd Cavalier should be Shiny Knight's sidekick from, like, early DC.
I was gonna say Boyd Cavalier should be, like, the pseudonym of, like, a pop star, but, like, an alternate pop star, like Oliver Tree, like Boyd Cavalier. Like,
fair enough.
He's gonna be, like, somebody on the fringes of pop music. He'll date, like, really, really, like, big names, and people be like, how did Boyd Cavalier end up dating Taylor Swift?
Yeah, fair.
And then, like, Boyd Cavalier and Taylor Swift will break up. She'll write a breakup album about him, and he'll be like, fuck that.
Fair enough.
Because he's
So you're describing K-Fed, by the way.
Do what?
You're describing early K-Fed.
Yeah.
He's Kevin Federline.
Boyd Cavalier is Kevin Federline if Kevin Federline existed in the 2020s instead of the 2000s.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
History repeats itself.
How history repeats.
Except, Josh, it is in the early 20s.
Fuck.
2020. 2120.
Yeah, baby. History fully repeats itself.
But, so, we're basically told by the companies, and then this is where we learn they're transporting specimens, and some of them not happy about it.
Do you think in 2120, the Kevin Federline-John Cena feud is, like, people remember that as, like, good wrestling?
No.
That's fine. That's fair. It was terrible.
So, some of the crew are like, man, I really don't like the specimens. We should just kill them. To which Morrow, the head of security, is like, no, they're the mission.
Do I need to, like, lock you up or, like...
Basically, insinuates I'd kill you before I'd kill them.
Like, do I need to lock you up or put you down?
Yeah.
But yeah, we see their specimens, and their specimens consist of, like, alien eggs, space slugs, the iconic face hugger, yeah.
Yeah. And then from there...
Also, you didn't mention Morrow, head of security, is full on not an actual human.
Oh, yeah.
He's a synth.
Yeah, they call him out for being a synth. The guy who he's threatening is like, you don't fucking get it. You don't have to worry about it. We lost a lot of good men getting those specimens, but you don't have to worry about it because you're not human. You're not alive.
Well, that actually makes me think, because I don't remember anything about synths in the first two movies. I know they were there. I just don't remember anything about them. Are synths artificial intelligence? Are they real people who like became synths?
They are not real people. They are.
I assume they're not real people because that's kind of the crux of part of the show.
They are straight up robotic. They are AI, seemingly somewhat self-independent, but with an overarching framework tied to whatever company owns them. Weyland-Yutani is very big in this sense.
I mean, if I was a giant corporation, me too. You don't have to pay them. You don't have to like.
Yeah. They don't. From my memory, they don't send a lot of synths on missions most of the time
because they probably are insanely expensive.
They cost way more than paying out the life insurance on their people.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Basically, synths will be like put on to make sure the people do the work.
Basically, what you're saying is, as soon as manufacturing synths becomes cheaper than paying people, Weyland-Yutani is not going to hire a single person.
Oh God, no.
Which is just like the capitalist dream. The capitalist dream.
No,
is
the only way Weyland-Yutani is hiring people at that point is to pay them for medical experiments.
Yeah.
Yep. That's the type of corporation Weyland-Yutani is.
Oh, unfettered capitalism in space. Like, this show actually brought up one of my like biggest dystopic fears, and I know I'm not going to live long enough for it to actually like matter.
Yeah.
But there's the International Space Treaty, which says no government can like colonize space. Which means the only way we colonize space is through
private corporations.
And that's going to be so bad.
Yeah.
It's going to be so terrible. Like,
horrible.
If you think what China's doing right now with, like, what is essentially slave labor, or, like, what sweatshops are bad now, imagine them when they're no longer bound by national laws of any sort.
And they are literally the only option for a vast diaspora of people, because they are just straight up born into it.
Yep. It's going to be like company towns, but inescapable.
Yep.
And company towns were already pretty hard to escape.
Yeah. Company towns just technically had government oversight.
I'm sure space corporations will technically have government oversight, but like...
once they get big enough, they just declare independence.
Yeah. Like I said, that's one of my like biggest dystopian fears, but I know I'll never live long enough to actually see it.
Which is good.
So glad that by the time Mars colonies are made, I will be dying.
Yeah. Or dead.
Fuck. That's so bleak, but Jesus. Unless there's like a massive restructuring of how humans govern themselves, that's how it's going to go.
Oh yeah, it'll be fucking horrible.
Weyland-Yutani is the future, and not in a good way.
God, no. So, from there we then cut to Earth, to a secret research island, owned by Prodigy, the company ran by Shining Knight's sidekick. That is his name, right? The Templar dude from the early DC All-Star Squadron?
I don't remember.
I could have sworn it's like Shining Knight. It's a dumb name.
I just love that you're calling this character Shining Knight's sidekick.
Yeah.
So we're on the research island, which is called Neverland. It's ran by Boy Cavalier, who lives here.
I'm right. His name is Shining Knight. Also, his actual name is Sir Justin. Tell me Boy Cavalier is not the Shining Knight's sidekick.
And he just uses his real name as his...
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, no, he doesn't use his real name. His real name is Boy Cavalier. His sidekick name is Boy Cavalier. It's said that way, but it's technically spelled Chevalier, Chee. But he lives in America, so he just pronounces it Cavalier.
And it's hyphenated. His real name isn't?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Also, Boy Cavalier is the newest trillionaire.
Yes.
Which is also the way the world's going.
Yeah, and also he is has like knockoff Timothy Chalamet energy.
So he's like literally like evil Timothy Chalamet.
Yeah, they're just like, we want to get Timothy Chalamet for this role. And he's like, no. I'm like, you there?
Well,
can we perm your hair? I don't know if the actor actually has like the natural curl like that. So I mean, my bit, I need it.
You made this mistake earlier. You called this a film.
Yeah,
and like the idea of casting Timothy Chalamet for this role is like insane unless this was going to be a film.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because there's still like a separation between like A-list actors and television to an extent. Ethan Hawke's on a new sitcom.
Huh.
And like he was an A-list actor till very recently.
He's in Black Phone too.
Yeah. Black Phone 1 was very good. If you haven't seen Black Phone, it is October. It is horror movie time. Black Phone was a good horror movie.
It was.
The last 20 minutes, for some reason, I always found myself being like, the last 20 minutes, the last 30 minutes of a horror movie were like let down.
Yeah.
But like the last 20 minutes to 30 minutes of Black Phone was a little bit of a letdown, but the movie itself, very good. It's just, I think horror movies have a hard time sticking their landing.
A lot of them do, yeah.
It's the same thing I was telling Chris when I was like, our friend Chris, friend of the show, is doing a Horrortoberfest. He's watching one horror movie for each day of October. And I was like, can I give you some suggestions? Not because like I think these horror movies were good, because I don't know how I feel about these horror movies, and I need somebody to tell me how to feel.
Instruct me,
because Vivarium was one of them. I was like, I think this movie wasn't good, but it just felt like the concept was, and I can't And the other one was In the Tall Grass. I was like,
fair.
In the Tall Grass feels like it was a good horror movie.
I enjoyed In the Tall Grass. I think it was a good horror movie.
But the last 30 minutes feels like it kind of like...
It gets a bit shaggy, but I don't think that's because of the movie. I think that's kind of just Stephen King's writing style.
Yeah. So I was like, I don't know how I feel about either of these. Please watch them and tell me what... I said the trailers, he's going to watch them.
Fair. But speaking of Shaggy, that's us at the moment, so we should get back to the Prodigy Island.
Oh, no, actually, I was making a comment about the series. You mistakenly called it a film, Timothée Chalamet. You did that, and like it's easy to see Timothée Chalamet in this role because it feels like a movie.
Yeah.
Like,
oh yeah, the budget is amazing.
The production quality is insane. Yeah. This is premium television at its best. Like
from FX.
If this was airing in like 2010, 2011, it would be getting 4 or 5 million viewers every week. Like this show.
I don't know how many viewers it is getting, but
yeah, but it's harder to tell when it's streaming.
Yeah.
But like this show is it when it comes to production value. Like fuck, even if I didn't care about aliens, and I kind of don't.
Yeah.
I might watch this show just because of how good the production is.
So on the island, we see a young, sick girl with a man who seems very unfeeling. His name is Kirsch, and they're watching a scorpion.
And he's played by Josh Duhamel?
Yes.
No, not Josh.
No.
Timothy Olyphant.
No.
Pretty sure it's Olyphant.
No, Timothy Olyphant is Lassie.
It's Timothy Olyphant.
What's the other Timothy's last name? Doesn't matter.
Timothy Amundsen.
Fair.
Yeah, Oliphant, yeah.
Yeah, fair. But she's like, what are you going to do with the scorpion? He's like, I don't know. Because I'm still thinking about it.
The two of them are standing in front of this giant fishbowl filled with sand and a scorpion. And she's like, what are you going to do with the scorpion? He's like, first she was like, where did it come from?
Yeah.
They found it in the kitchens or like... He's like, so we moved it so it wouldn't hurt anybody. And she's like, what are you going to do with it? And he's like, don't know. Haven't considered that yet.
What do you think we should do with it? And she's like, you should kill it so it can't hurt anyone. He's like, well, what if when I go to smash it, one of its friends shows up and stabs me because I'm trying to hurt its friend?
And like, it's trying to save its friend. Like you're trying to protect me because she specifically says, what if it hurts someone?
Yeah. So he's giving a philosophical lesson here. They don't really reach the end of it when they're interrupted by a head scientist doctor lady who's like, hey, it's time now. And this young girl, Marcy, is taken into a lab where we see a body laying on a table with another spot next to it. And she's like, is it going to be okay? I want to see my brother. And the woman goes, you can't see him right now, but you can see him after you wake up.
But he can't see me, right?
Yeah.
And she's like, yep, that's correct. And then she looks at the body and she's like, is that going to be me?
Yeah.
And
the woman's like, yeah, it is. So they have her lay down on the table next to it. And the last thing she says really before she gets put under... Actually, Boy Cavalier shows up, and he's like, no, this is going to be great. You're special. And it's going to be fantastic. Everything's going to go great. You want to see a magic trick? Snaps his fingers.
You know Neil Armstrong? You're going to be like Neil Armstrong. And she's like, I'm going to walk on the moon? And he's like, no, you're going to be the first person to ever do this.
Yeah, you're going to be the first human in a synthetic body. And he's asked if she wants to see a magic trick, snaps his fingers, and on a large circular screen, which, by the way, horrible formatting, is going to have... Peter Pan playing on it as she lays down on the table.
Specifically, it's the clock tower scene.
Yes. Though there's then the Lost Boy scene like immediately after. So this film, either this whole setting up the operation takes a really long fucking time, or they don't have the full film in the year 2120,
or he's
just have pieces.
Or he's just like playing his favorite clips.
Yeah.
He's obsessed with it. He has favorite clips.
So before she gets put under, she looks over at the body and goes, she looks like a Wendy. Which then starts a trend because we will have more kids being put in robot bodies, and they're all going to be
synthetic bodies. Robots are different.
And they're all going to be renamed as characters from Peter Pan.
Yeah, that pretty much nails it. Once Marcy is...
Wendy, don't dead name her.
Once our protagonist is fully into her synth body, we cut to her like sitting on a cliff face, and then she jumps off the cliff.
The ability and speed at which she readily changes her name once moving into a synth body is odd, because she seemed fine with who she was. Right? And then, like, I can't recall.
I think...
Later, does she tell someone to call her Marcy or Wendy?
She tells them to call her Wendy.
Okay.
But she does say she is Marcy when she's finally introduced to her brother.
Yeah.
Because, like, she's trying to, like, make that connection with him. But I think the cognitive dissonance that would be created from going from a body that's, like, 4.5 feet tall and, like, a child...
To a full-grown adult.
To a full-grown 5.5 foot tall woman... is like going to cause enough cognitive dissonance that it makes sense to like in your brain be like, oh, this is who I was.
This is the new me. Yeah,
and this is who I am.
Yeah.
And like they don't talk about the cognitive dissonance of like that.
Which there has to be a lot of cognitive dissonance going on. We just kind of skipped past all that. And she can run really fast. She can jump super high.
They do talk about like the physical.
Yeah.
Like the cognitive. It's not cognitive. Like the mental adaptation to the new physical body. Like how it's taking her. Like it'll take her time to like fully get her balance and like feel like understand how her reach and stuff is. Like it'll take time for her.
Yeah,
to, like,
but they don't discuss the
actual cognitive ramifications, which are much more interesting than it's going to take a while to figure out how far you can actually reach to grab stuff.
Like the closest we get to is later they're talking about, like, hey, we should, like, make sure she learns and develops because she's still a kid. And they're like, nah, she's a super robot lady now. It's fine. But, like, she's very much not an adult. One of the first things we see shortly after this is she's just fondling her own breast and, like, these are weird. Why do I have these? These are odd.
They bounce when I run.
I don't like it.
And, like, the two doctors, like, interviewing her, like, it's because you have an adult body now. And she's like, but why do I need... And, like, she's got a point. Why the fuck does she need breast? I'm not just saying that because she's a kid, but, like, she's a synth who's never going to have children.
Yeah.
Why the fuck does she need breast?
Mm.
The only reason is to, like, continue the idea that she's a human.
Yeah.
But that's not how they treat her. In fact, on multiple occasions, the male doctor...
She's told she's not human.
Yeah. The male doctor's like, you're not human. And she's like, what am I? Or, like, Boy Cavalier's like, look...
Boy Cavalier, at a point, is like, shortly afterwards, when she wakes up, is like, no, you are human, when she asks. And then later is like, you're not human.
Well, yeah, like...
He answers in whatever works best for his bottom line or his interest.
There's a moment where, like, I think it's in this episode, where she's in the office being like, hey, we could go help those people.
Yeah.
And he's like, the way she emotes and, like, the, like...
It's so human.
It's so human. She's almost human. And then she's like...
I am human. He's like, no, you're not.
And in some ways he's right, but, like...
Mentally, she's still a human.
My question, though, and, like, they haven't addressed this. My question is, are the new synth people, like, the people, the kids turning into synths, are they, like, actual, like, full brain moved to synth body?
Or are they a snapshot of the brain moved?
Or are they, like, a computer
reconstruction?
Yeah.
No idea.
Because one of those is, like, literally just killing the children.
Yes.
The other one is less that, but, like...
Who knows?
God. Science fiction can be cool because it lets you, like, examine, like, philosophical questions like, are you still you if it's a computer reconstruction of you, but the computer reconstruction never lost, like, the chain of consciousness?
Yeah.
So, like, it has all of your thoughts and everything going back. Is that still you?
It's a good question.
Simultaneously, this show doesn't tackle any of those questions. No. So is it a good sci-fi show? I don't know.
Like, we get a fun part here in, like, because she's basically getting therapy after she wakes up. Somewhere in this time frame. It's a weird gray time. They don't really express how much time has passed during all of this, but they talk about how they've tried to simulate the adolescence and stuff, but she won't actually really feel any real emotions because she doesn't have dopamine or any hormones or any of those things.
It can't be a human brain because, like, the human brain would be producing those unless, like...
If it's not, like, a physical human brain, obviously, we already kind of knew that. So, of course, it's not producing those things, but, like, they're trying to simulate it, which means the brain would ostensibly, or the construction of the brain would ostensibly respond to those things.
Yeah.
Which still makes it weird.
So it could still either be either way. Weird.
But she's basically told, hey, you're not going to feel anything, but she acts like she does later, so, like...
So, like, they specifically... She says she doesn't really feel... Like,
yeah, it doesn't feel like it used to.
But she still feels. It's just, like, dampened, apparently. Which... I think they're just describing depression.
Yeah.
Like,
but,
I still feel things. I'm not depressed. Like, the idea of, like, I still feel things. They're just, like, muted and, like, have less vibrancy.
Yeah. So, from here, we learn that the reason why they chose her and the other kids is because apparently adult brains are too stiff. So, apparently neuroplasticity is something that's important here.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, they say stiff, but, like, we obviously, like, if you have any, like, inkling of any knowledge...
Yeah, it's about neuroplasticity.
Which also makes sense, like...
Which is why they put them in adult bodies, I guess, because they're never going to age after this, but also, the corporations of Earth basically run their own governments, so, like, your problem here would be they're not adults and won't be treated like adults, but if Boy Cavalier's dream of turning everyone that he thinks is worth it, assumedly, or all of humanity, as he seems to imply, but I doubt that, into synth hybrids, why does it fucking matter what age they appear to be, right?
Well, I think right now it matters...
Obviously, it costs a lot less money to build a smaller body, right?
Yes, but, like, on it, I think part of it right now is the program is secret.
Yeah.
And, like, it'd be a lot weirder if he was trying to send children into, like...
It doesn't matter. He controls his little branch of government. He's just like, shut up. Shut up. So what if I'm sending kids into dangerous situations? Who cares? I own you.
Their parents literally sold them to me. It's fine.
Yeah, I own them. It's fine.
I think ostensibly there is still, like, governments in...
It's hard to tell.
The Alien franchise, to some extent.
Maybe. I don't actually know.
I think... So, when... I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. When the, like, initial search and rescue team, that is obviously Weyland Yutani, like, paramilitary private contractors, show up to search and rescue...
They're not Weyland Yutani, they're Prodigies.
Sorry, Prodigy, yeah. When the Prodigy search and rescue team initially shows up to the crash site...
Which, actually, if you want to pause here, we can get to that, because literally, from here, we cut right back to the ship, and it's about to crash into Siam.
I'm just going to finish what I'm saying.
Okay.
They deal with what seemed to be like actual like civilian military or police.
Fair.
And they're like, yeah, so we're taking over now because this is property of Prodigy. So like it feels like there is like still a civil arm.
Except when this group show up, which are the ones you're talking about, right?
Mm-hmm.
The ones that were leaving are like Joe and others.
No, I'm talking like when Joe's group shows up. There's already people there responding.
Oh.
And Joe's group takes over for them, implying that there was already some type of like civil response service.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But so we get back to the Imagine Not, and something's gone horribly fucking wrong.
Magi Note?
Yep. Morrow is in a sealed off room by himself, reporting to Mother, Wayland Yutani.
Is Mother Wayland Yutani's like AI system? Like
I believe so.
Okay.
It's basically like their server farm.
Is that why when I first listened to Ascension, Afterman Ascension, I got really weird vibes when he was like Mother and like the computer responded like
yeah, probably.
Like I didn't piece that together until watching the show, but like having Morrow like call out to Mother, I was like Coheed and Cambria vibes, and then I was like Coheed and Cambria gave me like weird vibes when it first did it.
Fair.
I think I was like connecting it to Aliens.
Maybe.
Alien.
So he's reporting that specimens have escaped, the ship is destabilized, and it's going to crash into Earth, and that's unavoidable. And then he gets a question about the status of the crew, and he hesitates for a moment, and then we see one of the crew members we saw earlier run up and start pounding on the door.
I don't think he can lie to Mother. Mm-hmm. So because he does it like the Mother goes crew, and he like locks the door and like seals it shut with a
blowtorch.
It comes out of his hand because he's a full-on synth.
And she's freaking out. She's like, "What are you doing? Why are you doing this?"
And then he doesn't respond to Mother until the alien actually kills her. Then he goes all dead.
Yep. And then he asks Mother to open the basically bug out chamber, the collision chamber or something, collision pod.
And he only barely makes it into the collision pod before the alien tries to kill him.
Starts beating on the collision pod entrance.
The xenomorph. We should use its proper name because technically there's a lot more aliens in the alien world than just xenomorphs.
Yes. And then from there we cut back to Wendy watching someone on camera feeds that she's manipulating with her hands that they react weirdly, and it's almost like putting a magnet by like an old CRT. The way it's reacting.
Like just flip video feeds and like stuff by touching screens.
Ooh, so sci-fi.
Well, Prodigy didn't even know she could do that.
Yes. And then we cut to some third parties who are observing her observe someone through the screens. And they're like, she's watching their brother again. And we learn that she is watching her brother, Joe, whose name is Joe DiMaggio. Named after the baseball player because apparently their dad really liked baseball.
I don't remember if it's actually Joe DiMaggio. I think Joe DiMaggio is the actor.
I don't believe so.
Joe DiMaggio is a baseball player. You're right.
Yeah.
My bad. Was alive from 1914 to 1999.
So she's watching her brother who lives in New Siam, and she's kind of telling us about him, but not directly. But she is just like thinking in her brain about her brother, apparently.
That does mean that 1970 World Series game?
It wasn't Joe DiMaggio they were talking about in the game.
Okay, I was going to say, Joe stopped playing and played for the Yankees till 1951.
Yeah, they were not talking about Joe DiMaggio in that game when they're talking about him.
Okay, beautiful. Because I was like, that would mean he was 46 during that World Series game. Yeah. That seems like insane.
So her brother is a medic with Prodigy, and he is also going to / has applied to medical school on Mars.
But Prodigy won't let him out of his contract, so he can't go to medical school.
Yes.
Also, while this is going on, we get introduced to a bunch of other kids who are terminally ill, who get one by one turned into synths, although not full synths because they are still human brains, apparently. Although that's questionable if there's actually a brain in there or not, we don't know.
Yeah, and also we know that Joe was told Marcy died, also known as Wendy. He was told his sister Marcy died, but Marcy actually became Wendy.
Marcy did die. That's why it's called a dead name.
So we see him kind of going about his day, and then he ends up on like a rooftop gym with some people in, I guess, his unit, which everyone else seems very military, and he's just the medic on the team. Yeah. And they're giving him some shit about him trying to leave, and they're like, oh, we're still fucking stuck with you then, basically. Ha 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 ha. When a spaceship comes barreling into the atmosphere and then hits the building above them, scrapes it.
We got part of the crash sequence from space.
Yeah, and it crashes through a space station partially.
And knocks out an antenna, which will affect communications here on the ground.
Yes. And then it smashes into the side of a skyscraper and continues forward into the bottom of these two giant towers in New Siam.
Also, it's impossible to tell at this point whether or not Morrow has intentionally, killed his crew and let the xenomorph out, or, if that was an accident, or if, part of his, job for Wayland Yutani was to make sure the vessel never made it back to Earth because it was carrying live aliens and it wasn't supposed to, so, they just wanted the research information and they didn't want the people to make it.
Who knows?
It's impossible to tell what's going on. That last one is my current theory, is, Wayland Yutani was like, hey, Morrow, ship can't make it back.
Yeah, maybe.
That ship cannot land on Earth. We cannot have the alien species actually on Earth. So do the research and then blow up the ship.
Fair. So then Joe and all his comrades take off to respond to the big emergency. And when they get there, they get onto the ship and fill with dead bodies. A bunch of people have been killed, it seems, in the crash, except Joe will point out to everyone around him that no, this blood's too coagulated. They've been dead for a week. These people here, their lips are blue, from a toxin. The guy who looks like he got smashed into that console and torn to shreds by glass actually has bullet holes in him.
Well, they get the people with blue lips also, he specifically mentions they asphyxiated.
Yeah. No, one of the...
Yeah, he's they asphyxiated, but the blue in their lips isn't from...
Yeah, the blue is from a toxin. They didn't asphyxiate due to decompression as the ship crashed.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they come across some bodies with giant holes in their chest. Multiples. And they're like, what happened here? And he's like, looks like something tore its way out. And then they find a blood trail that they go to follow because it had to go somewhere. And then another group in the ship because they split off when they got in.
Yeah. Well, there's also, they split up into 3 teams. Mm-hmm. So like you were saying, there's the team Joe is on, and they are tracing this blood trail. And then there's another team with 2 of the people from Joe's unit, Hoyt and...
I don't know the other one. Anat.
And those 2 find a lab that held specimens at one point, but most of the specimens are just gone.
There's still some in containers on the wall.
But this little buggish tentacle thing slides into one of their suits, and then they are held at gunpoint by Morrow, who finds them.
I was going to get to before we talk about these 2, because we do see him before interacting with anyone, and it is him reporting to Mother that there are invaders on the ship.
The ship has been boarded,
Yeah, the ship has been boarded, and that he plans to go to the armory and wait for backup, and he sends a distress call to them.
Yeah.
To Wayland HQ.
And so he encounters Hoyt and
Anat,
and makes them drop their guns.
Yep.
And then chains them up to a pipe or something in the lab. And then the little bug thing starts crawling all over, I think, Anat.
Yeah.
And Anat's freaking out about it. And Hoyt's like, hey, we need to work together. I can almost get my knife. Calm down.
And then slug thing attaches to Anat's neck and just starts draining blood out of him.
It bites him once. He goes, it bit me. And then he is dead very quickly.
Yeah.
And then
Hoyt is freaking out. He's like, what the fuck? Come on, man. What the fuck? And then he sees another slug thing
crawl down from his helmet over his face. And honestly, at this point, he should have just tried to bite it as it crawls past his mouth.
But he didn't. And then it bites onto his neck and drains his blood.
And they both dead.
And then we cut back to Wendy.
Whatever type of aliens these are, they're just basically really hyper effective ticks, because the one after it bites Anat's neck and drains all maybe not all of his blood, but a lot of his blood kind of falls off and rolls down his chest.
Yep.
And it went from being the size of your thumb to the size of
to a small sports ball.
Yeah, I was thinking a large grapefruit.
I'm thinking more I would say it's about the volume of a football, not necessarily the shape of a football, but
volleyball-esque.
Yeah, or a good kickball.
Like a good soft dodgeball.
Yeah. And then from there we cut back to Wendy, who has been still watching Joe, and then she sees... Wait, she's not still watching Joe. She's getting tested about some stuff. They're asking her to raise her hand when she hears a pitch, and they're like, oh, she's way above human frequency. And then she notices on the screen everything that's going on.
But before this, we did cut to Rashad, Joe, and Siberian.
Yeah, this is where they find the crawler, the facehugger.
They don't find the facehugger. They find the body that has a hole in its chest.
Yes, and they find the blood trail, and it's in the cryo chambers.
And they follow the blood trail, and as they pass through one of the cryopods that they didn't check, we see a dead facehugger.
Yes.
And then Wendy.
And on the screen, she notices news reports, basically, about what's going on in New Siam. And then in one of them, she sees Joe, so she gets up, walks over to the screen, and starts manipulating it. And everyone's like, wait, what?
Did we know she could do that? Did we do that?
We didn't know she could do that. Wild. And then she...
confronts Boy.
And it's like, hey, you just sent us to the crash site.
And Boy's like, aw, it's so cute. It thinks it's human.
Yeah.
And she's like, it's a good use to test us. We can't break like the other people can. This is a good field test for us. And he's like,
you make some good points.
And Oliphant's character, I think, is named Adam Ains. Or is that the doctor?
Adam Ennis?
Yeah. Objects. And then Boy's like, well, can you follow orders?
And she's like, sir, yes, sir.
And he's like, well, okay then.
Yep.
Get the other Lost Boys. Let's send them to the crash site.
Yep.
And that's the end of episode 1.
Josh,
we made it to the end of episode 1.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on episode 1?
I don't have any context for any of the Aliens universe at this point in my life, but the show's production quality is so good. I just want to watch more of it.
Fair.
It's fun to watch.
Understandable.
I do think it's annoying that we're obviously dealing with the concept of a like a synthetic body with the actual human in it, but like the human body can't age, and the brain has to be a child's brain, and like what is like the moral ramifications and the ethical ramifications, and like what are the actual like psychological effects of like like we're ignoring all of that stuff because it's not like it's not popcorn action flick, which is kind of what Aliens became.
Yeah.
And like some of this show is leading to some of that. So I think because those questions are uncomfortable, they don't get addressed.
Yeah.
But I think that's kind of like the coolest thing you could do with this show.
Agreed.
Otherwise, the show is fun and it looks pretty. So like I would want to watch more, I think. What about you?
Yeah, I would probably watch more. I think I'm a bit more versed in the Alien universe than you, but not much. And it's definitely intriguing. Again, all the big philosophical questions are definitely there. I also don't think they're going to fuck with them, but...
And I should say, when I say the show is pretty, I don't mean that like it's like picturesque and pastoral. I mean like it's just really well done.
It's
like,
well shot, well done, and all of the special effects, the CG is well done as well.
Yeah, I don't mean like actually pretty. I mean it looks good.
Yeah, I would say the only thing that looks worse than I would like is the alien when we see it up close. Weirdly, it looks more lifeless than the alien in the original Alien movie.
Yeah,
I think it's because they went for like episode. It's because we see it here when it attacks the person outside Morrow's pod, and then we see it later. And in episode 2, we see it a bit closer. It looks more hardened, like it looks harder and like more plasticky almost / metal than in the original movies, where it had like
it is supposed to have like an armor plating on the outside.
But like in the first movie, it has like almost like a slime to it almost, that catches the light a bit more.
A sheen.
Yeah, it has a better sheen to it that like catches the light. And I think my biggest issue is in episode 2, we'll get to it, but I don't remember exactly where it is because it's not like a super important thing. There's a point where we get a shot of like just its face really up close, and it looks more like someone's holding a bust of an alien.
Fair enough.
Than an alien in the thing. But overall, the show looks very, very good. It's just one brief moment where I go, And other than that, though, I would definitely continue to watch it.
I will say, I spent a lot of this episode going, man, that boy has an unhealthy obsession with Peter Pan.
Yeah.
Although
he reads to the children Peter Pan at one point, the book Peter Pan, which is very different from the Disney film.
I will say, I do, like, envy his, like, default outfits. He just wears, like, the most comfortable looking, like, pajama pants and a t-shirt and, like, a house robe over that. Like, he's 100%, like, in the billionaire, like, chic, laissez-faire, like, I'm not getting dressed because I'm too rich to worry about it.
Yeah. I don't fucking have to.
And I envy his just like existence in comfy clothes at all times. Like,
fair.
I wish I could exist in nothing but comfy clothes all the time.
Agreed.
I wish I was a trillionaire.
But onwards to episode 2.
So fucking bad.
Episode 2, Mr. October.
Apparently, the term Mr. October is a baseball thing.
Yes, it's literally a nickname given to the person that they talk about in the 77 game, which is Reggie Jackson, because of his performance in the postseason series that year.
Is the postseason in October?
I think so. I don't actually know if it was postseason. That was me assuming because it's in October that it was postseason baseball, but I could be wrong. But yeah, that is a nickname for Reggie Jackson.
It's such a wild nickname if the post series doesn't take place in October.
Yeah, so I assume it's postseason in October for baseball. But yeah, he just performed really, 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 really fucking well. So they just called him Mr. October. It was his fucking month, basically. He owned that month.
Okay.
Yeah.
So episode 2 begins picking up with Joe and his crew, which is composed of a man named Rashidi, which seems to be like Joe's like one of his best friends in the unit, and a woman named Siberian, which has like
potential like significant other energy.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's like some like pre-established will they won't they that we don't have any context for. It's like
maybe they have and they just don't act like that on missions. Who knows?
Or maybe they have and like it was awkward because like it wasn't like they were both drunk and like they don't want to talk about it and like it's like really like hurt the friend group.
Who knows?
Like it's awkward between them, but in a will they won't they or have they kind of manner, if that all makes sense. But they, while exploring the ship, come across the med bay, which has further evidence of crew members dying from suffocation. Yeah. There's also like chest bursters and like
there's a guy who has been partially vivisected and like just like, there's some inflammation and wounds on like his respiratory tract, but whatever's there's not there anymore.
Joe's such a nerd.
Yeah. Literally every time he sees a dead body, he's like, "Ooh, I wonder how this one died." Let me tell you. And I think it's Siberian's like, let the forensic nerds figure that out. That's not why we're here.
Yeah, specifically the guy you're talking about had his like stomach open, like
it was his
surgery.
open chest.
Yeah, chest. Sorry. And they were there's like notes on the screen and stuff. They were doing a surgery for a certain code, and then like he had to look up the code.
64. Specimen 64.
Oh, like there was a specific code for the surgery.
Oh yeah, no. Specimen 64 is later. That's the
Yeah.
weird eyeball thing.
There was specifically like a code for the type of surgery they were doing,
which is to remove foreign bodies.
and like she's like, oh, so like bacteria or like parasites. He's like, no, foreign bodies isn't like
aliens.
And she's like, but
What?
We're not allowed, you're not allowed to have living aliens. Like that's against the rules.
Yeah, and he's like, yeah, wild, right?
Wild that corporations wouldn't obey the rules. Like, so that's how we know that there's like a governing body still somewhere.
Or they all have legal agreements.
Like somebody at some point was like, look, no living alien subjects on ships that may be returning to Earth.
Fair.
And Wayland Yutani went, bet.
So, ignoring that, the group continues onwards, and they open some doors, and it's just a stairway to the apartment building that it crashed into.
Well, no, there's an apartment building inside the spaceship.
Yes.
There's an entire,
It's much bigger on the inside than you would think.
Oh, it's a bit timey-wimey and wibbly-wobbly.
Yeah. It's smaller on the outside. That's weird. People normally say it the other way around.
I love that.
But
God, I love Doctor Who.
Doctor Who is very good.
Okay.
So they set off down this stairwell, and they're walking down, and then they get to a section where it's just a giant gap because the stairs have been broken.
Yeah, because a spaceship may or may not have landed in the building.
Who knows? Who could say?
Who could ever say?
Yeah. So Rashidi jumps to the other side, and is like, come on, guys.
So Rashidi's like, we're going to have to jump. And Joe and the Siberian are like
what the
looking
fuck?
at each other, and he just runs and jumps. And they're like, well, like, the Siberian's like, well, I guess. And she just runs and jumps too, and Joe's like, guys, I don't know if I can make it.
Yeah, I'm not so sure about this. So he backs up, kind of like being skittish, and there's a giant hole above him in the corner of the stairwell.
And then he hears something in the hole and like looks up.
And some...
And he doesn't hear something first. There's like something that drips down on him.
It's some saliva, which, from my experience, should be acidic, but it's
No,
not.
their blood's acidic, not their saliva.
I guess when their spit was too.
No, just their blood.
Fair. So he's like, what? Looks up, and then an alien starts to come out, and he's like, oh, fuck. And so like, he runs to jump, and the alien jumps after him.
And he like hits the ledge on the level where Rashadi and
Siberian are.
And like hits it and like bounces off.
He doesn't bounce off, his leg momentum continues. So he hits, and then if he had the room, would flip, but doesn't, and instead just leg continue down onto the platform underneath him, and he just smacks into the floor below.
Yeah. Which, God, that sounds so painful. Like,
yeah, and the alien is following him and not the two people.
Well, I mean, aliens are ambush hunters.
Yeah.
And ambush hunters typically target the weakest member of the pack.
Yeah.
And Joe is, like, definitively the weakest member of his pack.
He also doesn't have a gun. On the upside, these aliens haven't been exposed to Ripley yet, so assumedly they don't know English, which is good.
He did have a gun.
Yeah, he doesn't anymore.
But he
lost it in the jump.
He lost it when he crashed into that floor. Holy fuck, that would have hurt.
But also, these aliens assumedly don't know English, so that's good.
Yeah.
Because that's a thing, from my understanding. Because of weird Ripley nonsense, the aliens, I believe, know English.
Well, it's like you didn't know that like the primary xenomorph structure, the primary xenomorph structure that we see in the films is based off of a humanoid alien species. Like, that was lore that you weren't aware of. I think that's established in Prometheus, but I'm not 100% sure.
No idea. I think I've seen the movie once and I was like, eh.
I've never seen it. I just, like, know a little bit of alien lore in the background.
But Joe then scrambles through a door, down a hallway, and runs to an elevator, all while being chased by a xenomorph.
He manages to get the door shut on the elevator quicker than the xenomorph can get there and, like, claw its way through.
Nah, it's just fucking with him.
Like,
it's definitely fast enough.
Here's the thing, and I don't understand. Like, yeah, the xenomorph gets there right after the elevator doors close. There's no way it couldn't get through those doors.
No, it definitely could.
Like, we saw it break through, like, what should be, like...
blast-proof fucking door
welded
and
shut.
Glass.
Yeah. Like, there's no way it can't get through an elevator door.
Well, you see, these elevator doors are made from vibranium, so anytime it hits it, it's just dispersing all of its force.
Just bouncing it back.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. I forgot Wakanda canonically exists in...
Well, yeah, Wakanda is owned by Wayland Yutani. Everyone knows this. The entire country of Wakanda is owned by Wayland Yutani. So... from there, I think, is when we get the flashbacks with Joe.
Yeah.
Or I think we briefly are with Wendy and the Lost Boys again on the plane.
No, the elevator door closes, and we basically immediately go into flashback.
Yeah.
Because, like, Joe is the, like...
I wasn't supposed to be here today.
Yeah, he's the I wasn't supposed to be here today trope. Like, he's like, I'm supposed to be on my way to Mars, supposed to go into med school.
He had apparently appealed his contract with Prodigy. He has 7 months left on his medic rotation.
But he's got scholarships and stuff that he just got approved.
Waiting for him on Mars.
And, like, semester starts in 3 months, so, like, he needs out of his contract if possible.
But he's been denied.
Like, and here's the thing. It's implied in this scene that, like, when essentially the robot denies him his leave, his end of contract.
That's just corporations being shitty?
Well, no, it's implied that it's his sister actually, like, actively denying it. And
yes.
Later in the episode, she'll admit to denying it because she couldn't, like, continually like follow him and keep tabs on him on Mars.
Here we also get, like, some stuff from Wendy's perspective. We switch mid-flashback here.
Yeah, we also, like, in the previous episode got some stuff about, like, how he watches the same Ice Age movie.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's another weird Disney clip that I was like, that's odd.
Yeah, like
I think it's like the second or third one too. I think it's Meltdown.
It's weird that they're watching a movie that's 140 years old, 130 years old.
It's not even the good one from the fucking series.
Yeah, and like there's a scene in the movie where like there's a monkey and he's like, "You'll taste my fury," and then
Sid is like, "Taste your fury, what?
Taste your fury, what?" Yeah. And so like while he's dealing with this robot, it was essentially a BMV type place,
and it's being a bit obstinate because it's a BMV robot.
He's like,
approve my leave or taste my fury.
And like
or is it Feel My Fury? I think it's Feel My Fury.
I don't remember. I think it was Taste.
Yeah.
And like the robot like
that she is viewing through
responds, taste your furry what?
And he's just like, wait, what?
Or feel your furry what?
He's like, wait, what? Did you just? And he's shocked for a fucking moment, which fair random BMV robot suddenly pulling out references and jokes.
And again, it's not actually like a DMV because like it's got a Wayland Yutani place. But like
it's a Prodigy place. Prodigy. It's the vibe of a BMV robot.
Yeah, the entire building is very DMV. Whereas like, this is what a Department of Motor Vehicles
in the future and space would look like.
This is the obvious like extrapolation of how shitty DMVs currently are and how shitty they will be in the future.
Yeah. But he's rejected and told he has to serve out the rest of his time.
Yeah. And again, it's implied here, and we later learn for a fact that it's his sister denying him. Prodigy might have actually approved it.
Who knows? I mean, according to Boy Cavalier, he cares about people, and like he's not interested in the money or anything. That's just what people constantly think when you're super rich. But according to Boy Cavalier, he's in things for, like, not necessarily humanitarians, but for, like, his own selfish reasons, but not for, like, rich or exploiting people. He just wants to have someone that he can have an actual stimulating conversation with, because everyone's just so fucking dumb.
So, I think two things here. First, I think Boy might actually, like, be being genuine about his motives.
I think he's being genuine about what he thinks his motives are.
He thinks he's so much more intelligent than everybody else that he can't maintain an intelligent conversation because nobody can keep up with him.
I think he's just a rich douchebag, so people aren't willing to combat his ideas, so everyone just agrees with him.
I also think that it's very, very easy to be like, oh, it's not about the money like everybody thinks, when you already have $1 trillion. When you're already, and like, that's not an exaggeration, when you're already, because he's the newest trillionaire, youngest trillionaire ever, when you are insanely wealthy, it's really easy to be like, oh yeah, like, we're doing this thing, and like, we can make money off of it, and we are going to make money, but like, we could make more money if we wanted to be really evil about it. But it's not about the money. I'm doing this for the people. Yeah. Like, it's really easy to say that when you're already insanely wealthy.
Yeah. And it might seem like we're talking about this out of nowhere, but it's like literally the next scene. We get a little bit of lead up with the lead scientist lady, like looking / reviewing the kids' dreams and desires for the future.
And she's like going through notes.
And she's like, well, I haven't achieved my dream, which was to beat death. I'm a fucking god. But now I want to make the quality of life better. And Cavalier's like, nah, I don't care about that. I just want to have a good conversation.
He's like, the entire purpose of this for me is to like take human brains.
And by juicing it with a supercomputer, maybe it'll be smart enough to like get me.
He's like, people are afraid of like how, and he's like, this is also his fear. He doesn't, he frames it as like a fear people have, but this is his fear. That like, we'll eventually create an AI so smart that it can create an AI smarter than itself, which will then create an AI smarter than itself.
And we will become redundant.
And like, humans will eventually become redundant. And so his goal is to like, supercharge humanity's intelligence so that the eventual AI like singularity can't keep up with the human singularity. Which is stupid. Yeah. Like, there's a limit to what biological brains can do. Yep. That is not going to be fully, like...
At a point, it would no longer be recognizably human.
Yeah. But he's a smart rich guy, so who gives a fuck? He knows more than I do, obviously.
Look, I guarantee if we were having a conversation, he wouldn't be stimulated. His mind wouldn't be blown.
He's just like, I just want to have my mind blown.
Yeah. And maybe Wendy will be able to scratch that itch.
And, like, the woman doctor here who, like... And the woman doctor here, who like is one of the primary people responsible for creating functional immortality,
is like, look at him like, what the fuck? He's like, no offense.
You're intelligent, but like, yeah, levels to it. But he's like, no offense. Like, she's definitely 100% like, bitch, some offense taken.
Yeah. So then we cut back to Wendy and the Lost Boys, and they are landing in New Siam.
Yep.
And they are being escorted by Kirsch, the guy we mentioned before, who is a synth.
Yes.
And they walk up to the PMC, because that's what they are. And they're like, okay, so
no, actually, they're Prodigy Security.
Yeah, I said what I said. And they're like, okay, we're in charge now. We're gonna do what we want. And they're like, I was told I was getting backup, and it's just you 7. What? And he's like, and Kirsch's like, yep, we're in charge now. So you guys are gonna go do this. We're gonna go do this.
And while he's having this conversation, Wendy's like touching one of the monitors. And just like flipping through every camera trying to find Joe.
Finds a picture of him in the elevator. And he's like, where's this? Tell me right now. And the guy's like, what are you talking about? That doesn't matter. We need help doing. We still have people in the building. We got people trapped in the rubble over here. And she's like, I don't care. Where's this? And he's like, elevator in the North Tower.
65th floor.
And she's like, okay, cool. I'm going to go. And the guy's like, wait, what? And Kirsch is also like, wait, stay. She does not.
And he's like, slightly, go with her.
Smee.
Again.
Smee, go with her.
Slightly.
I thought it was Smee. Is it slightly?
No.
Okay. My bad.
Smee goes...
Smee stays with the others. Yeah, I remember now.
Smee's the one that holds the metal tin down
I remember.
over the eyeball thing.
Yeah, I got it.
So, Smee, 2 others, Slightly, Wendy, and then 2 others.
Yeah.
The 7 break up into 3 groups.
Well, they break up into 2 groups to begin with.
Oh, yeah. They break up into Wendy and Slightly.
And then everyone else in
Kirsch, and everybody else.
Head into the ship. And they are all traveling together until they come across a dangling, weird-looking plant/pseudopod thing from the ceiling. And...
so then Kirsch and one of the others stays back, and he sends Smee and the other 3 ahead.
To go find something to take specimens.
And he's like, it's interesting. He's like, it presents as fauna, but it could be flora.
Yeah. And it presents as flora, but it could be fauna.
Vice versa. Because it's a giant pod that looks like a man-eating plant just dangling from the ceiling.
Yeah. A thing we forgot to mention from the first episode, and kind of gets touched on here, is Boy Cavalier says he wants what's on the ship.
Yeah.
Because it landed in his area, it's his, and they're like, well, Waylon Yutani won't want back. And he's like, but it landed here. It's mine now. I want what's on the ship.
They can call their lawyers and have them talk to mine.
Yeah. And I mentioned that because I think it's like right about here, we do cut to him getting a call from Waylon Yutani. And
this scene
from Yutani, from Waylon, from Yutani. And Yutani's like, hey, I would like permission to send my people and to collect my things. And he's like, well, it crashed into a giant apartment building. We've got a lot of injured people and first responders. Then we really need to secure the scene first and everything, So I'm afraid I can't do that. And she's like, that's our stuff. It's our, we want it back. And he's like, well, you see, here's the thing. We have lawyers for a reason. You have yours. Get in touch with mine.
And she's like, I'm going to send an extraction team. And he's like, if you do that, Prodigy will see that as a sign of aggression and retaliate with corresponding force.
Yeah.
Really, this is why we have lawyers. Anyways, I gotta go. Bye!
And he says all this while laying down on his bed, and at a point is just holding the tablet, which, by the way, I love the design of these tablets. The tablets look like the front of old, late 70s, early 80s televisions, like almost wood panel-esque, and then with like the weird venting and like trellis meshing that would be for speakers. Yeah. And just hold his feet.
Honestly, this is the best scene for Boy in the entire show so far. In the 2 episodes, this is the scene that makes you go, not
the worst trillionaire. There's that lady in an uptight pinstripe suit.
This guy,
pinstripe suit skirt.
He's the trillionaire of the people.
Yeah,
he's got it.
The trillionaire of the people. My God, what have we come to?
This guy, he's got vibes. But yeah, he's basically just like, no, fuck you.
I guess an important thing, though I don't think it really comes up here at all in this episode. When Wendy lands, she's hearing a weird buzzing noise, and she hears that throughout the entirety of this episode, basically.
It comes up a little bit near the end of this episode.
Yeah, I think it's something to do with the aliens.
It's 100% something to do with the aliens.
But we don't know exactly.
So Kirsch and the one lost boy are standing there looking at the giant plant pod.
Yep.
While the other 3 go to the lab. While in the lab, they find a strange eyeball with tentacles that tries to It's
possessing a cat to begin with, like a half-dead cat.
Yeah, the eyeball is the cat's eyeball initially, and it crawls out of the cat.
Yeah, it's bulging out of its head. The cat's spine is broken. It's dragging its legs. Its face is partially gone and covered in blood.
And then it tries to fly into the face. One of the, each of the Lost Boys have been given, a little bit of personality so far. And this girl that's in the group
was very, very sick.
And, she
is scared of dying. And just scared of danger in general.
And so, it tries to, fly at her face. By fly, I mean, throws itself because it doesn't actually fly.
And then its tentacles stretch.
She gets her hands in the way.
Proportionately long.
And, the tentacles are still stretching towards her face. And then, she manages to slam it on the table when Shmi grabs a metal, pan of some sort. And
it honestly looks like a pan you would see in a steam table.
And just slams it on top of it. And he's, holding it shut. And then they start calling for Kirsch.
Yeah.
And so Kirsch goes to the other guy. He's like, you stay here.
I'm going to go see what the fuck
they're up to. Keep an eye on this thing. I'll be back.
Yeah. And then we cut back over to Joe, who has made it up into the apartment building. And he is wandering around, and he runs into one of the guys from his original party, the third party that did not enter the ship.
Yeah, the one that were still exploring the apartments.
Yeah, and the guy's like, so where's Siberian and Rashidi and the rest? And he's like, there's a thing. It's like, have you seen it? It's like a big creature claws. It's like terrifying. It's killing people. And the guy's like, what are you talking about?
Like a pet, like a dog.
Look, man, there's still people on the floor. We gotta get them out.
My favorite part is he's like a dog, and the alien's like behind him, and Joe's like, no, not like. And he turns around to see it, and he lifts up his gun to shoot.
Well, not here, because they knock on the door for the party first.
Not yet.
Yes, because
Joe's by himself when he knocks on the door. No, he's not. You're right.
Yeah. And the guy's like, there's still people, and kind of gestures to the door, knock on it. Guy opens the door, and he's like, what's going on? And they're both like...
And he's like wearing a powdered wig, and like...
Yeah, it's a debutante ball.
Yeah. Like I said, rich white people...
And there's been an accident. There's a spaceship in the lobby. You have to evacuate. And the guy's like,
the building's unstable. It could come down at any second.
And the guy's like, I don't think so. I'm in the same social club as Boy Cavalier. If something was going on, I know he would let me know personally. I have guests over, and they must be entertained, and then closes the door.
He would phone me personally.
Yes. So, Joe's comrade is upset. He's like, we gotta get these people out of here. This is so fucking dumb. And Joe's like, no, we should just go. There's a big scary monster. And that's when he mentions the dog stuff. And there's a weird modern art piece behind him that the alien is not like perched on. And then the alien stabs him with his tail.
Well, the alien goes to, like, the guy goes to raise his gun to, like, shoot the alien when he sees it. And, like, before he can, like, let off a single shot, the alien goes, nope.
Yeah, stabs him, wakes his body up, and he's pulling the trigger on the gun now.
And its bullets are going everywhere, and other soldiers show up.
Yeah.
And the alien proceeds to eviscerate all of them while Joe is, like, laying on the ground, panicked.
Yep. And then the door opens to the party, so like, what the fuck's going on? And the alien murders everyone in there, too.
Like, bounds across over him into the party. It's, like, hilarious that it just let Joe live. And, like, obviously it's plot armor, but, like...
And then from there, we cut back to Wendy and Slightly, and they've found where Joe was. They see claw marks from the xenomorph in the hallway up to the elevator.
Well, they like, see, like, broken doors and stuff, and they're like, there's some, like, large creature
And then they see the claw marks in the hallway.
And she's like...
It's, like, from a bear, and Slightly goes, there's bears here?
I love Slightly.
Yeah. He is now terrified of bears for the rest of this episode.
And maybe the rest of his life.
Yeah, probably.
And if not bear, like, once he realizes that it's not a bear, he's going to be even more terrified.
Yeah. And then we have the xenomorph being stopped.
Yeah, so...
by Morrow.
Joe is in the apartment with all the dead bodies as the alien, like, the xenomorph begins to pounce, like, goes to pounce on him.
And Morrow just fucking, like, shocks it.
Hits it with, like, a
super taser?
A super taser. And, like, the xenomorph, like, just falls out of the air and crashes onto the ground unconscious.
And Joe's about to get up and thank him, and then...
Joe literally does thank him. He's like, thank you so much.
And then Morrow super tases him, too. And then Morrow pours out a gun, like, shoots the xenomorph from the weird gel
I want you to know.
Yeah.
Any gun that can, like, tase the xenomorph into unconsciousness should just straight up kill it, dude.
It has adaptive fucking...
No. Don't give me that. Don't give me that.
It's adaptive amperage.
Based on its target?
Yeah.
That would imply it has to know what a xenomorph is. I guess he was on the spaceship with the xenomorph this entire time.
Yeah, he has data on it.
But yeah, then he gets like a gel gun that shoots...
Here, fine, Josh. If it makes you feel better, the taser's not adaptive. The synth controlling the taser is adaptive and can manually change the voltage by touching it because he's weirdly...
Because he's a robot.
Because he's a robot. He does like a Bluetooth connection. He's like, turn it down.
I know my notes say gel, and you also said gel with the gun. But really, the gun that he whips out to, like, bag the xenomorph, it's literally just a web it's just Spider-Man web.
Yeah.
He's just, like, cocooning it in spider web. He's like, it leaves the gun like a gel aerosol.
Yeah.
And then, like, when it lands, it turns into webbing. It's literally just Spider-Man's web formula turned into a gun.
So then Morrow grabs the alien and is dragging it to an elevator when more soldiers appear.
And they're like, what's in the bag? And he's like...
No, they're like, hey, you gotta get out of here. It's super dangerous. He's like, yeah, I'm on my way. I
was going to the elevator, literally right now.
I didn't think the stairs were available, like accessible. They looked kind of fucked up. The guy's like, okay. And then they notice the bag and they're like, they notice the bag move.
No, they don't notice the bag move yet. They notice the bag, they're like, what's in the bag? And he's like, supplies?
Yeah. And then the bag moves. And they immediately pull their guns and like, hands where I can see them. And this, to note, he has opened the elevator and set his own gun down inside of it.
To be fair, it is a completely reasonable response if you are effectively a policing unit.
Yeah.
To be like, oh, that bag moved. This guy is kidnapping somebody, or like...
This guy is kidnapping someone, and also surrounded by viscera, because this is the same lobby with all of the dead guys in it.
This guy is trouble.
Yeah.
But the guy's like, look... Sorry, Morrow's like, look...
I'm not your problem.
You don't want to do this?
And they're like, don't care. Hands behind your back. And then they handcuff him. And Morrow's like, I'm not your problem to worry about right now.
Like, when he puts his hands up, his one hand is, like, see-through-ish.
Yeah.
And they're like, synth. He's a motherfucking synth.
Yeah.
And he's like, guys, don't... And then the Xenomorph, after they handcuff him, breaks out of the bag.
Slaughters them, and Morrow manages to get the elevator shut in time.
Yeah.
Man, that elevator is saving lives today.
All I can think about, and this is totally irrelevant to almost all of our listeners, all I can think about every time this elevator saves somebody is how the one time an elevator showed up as a like plot point in an RPG I ran, it was a murder weapon and not a savior for anybody.
Yeah, fair. It saved us.
Cut a bad guy in half.
Yeah, and then leveled up, and then died.
The elevator, he means. The elevator leveled up and died.
So, then we get Slightly and Wendy arriving in the lobby. Mara and the Xenomorph and all that stuff are gone now. But they find Joe in the rich people apartment where he's just picked up a baseball they had in his playroom because he's robbing these people. I don't know why he's wandered so far into their apartment, honestly.
Honestly, he probably is like super confused by being electrocuted to unconsciousness.
But he's picked up a baseball signed by Reggie Jackson from his time in his 1977 postseason. And we get a whole little video thing about Reggie Jackson. And then it's a flashback where it's him and his dad sitting, watching, talking about it. And he just mentions basically when someone's at their peak and they're doing their best and they are the absolute epitome of their field.
When they are the hero of their field.
They call it Mr. October. Well, his dad called them Mr. October.
I will mention before this, Kirsch called for the Lost Boy that was just out in the hallway with the plant animal thing, which is funny because just as like he calls for that guy, the pod had like let out a little tentacle with like what looks like a little teeth mouth, and like it was like snaking its way into this Lost Boy's face, and he just was not reacting. He's like,
no, he was fascinated by it. This one wants to be a scientist.
That's right.
Because I remember that because Smeeds has something about destroying it, killing it when they first see it, and this one goes, scientists don't kill.
Yeah.
So wrong, bud. So wrong. You are definitely still a child in a grown adult body now.
Oh.
Let's not talk about the repercussions of that, though. Instead, Wendy and slightly convince Joe that, hey, it's dangerous.
Hold on. Not yet.
Okay.
Because Kirsch calls for him to come into the room. And then Kirsch, like, attaches his synth thing to
a computer to look up data about this weird eyeball monster.
And, like, this is when we find out it's Subject 64. But he also finds, like, a bunch of, like, egg things in the cargo hold. And so he calls to Wendy and Shmi. Not Wendy. Sorry, Wendy and Slightly. And it's like, hey, I need you guys in the cargo hold now. Get there and stay there until containment arrives. Don't let anybody in or anybody out. And that's when...
Doesn't he also tell Smee to go down there? Because that's like Slightly's motivating factor, because Smee doesn't like to be alone.
Yeah. He goes, Smee's on his way now. You guys need to meet Smee down in the cargo hold now.
And Wendy's like, I don't want to. I found Joe. I'm good. I've done what I wanted to do. And Slightly's like, Smee doesn't like to be alone. So they convince Joe to go with them. Yeah. Because Joe's like, I don't know, there's still people that need rescuing. And like, I have a job to do. And also, that ship's fucked.
And Wendy's like, yes, but there'll be people that are
going to the ship's forward. There will be a bunch of injured people there. And she says it in like a really excited tone.
Yeah, and like it's because she's a kid. She's
like 12. I think she's literally like 12.
She's maybe 13 now.
Yeah,
but when they put her in her synth body, she was 12.
Yeah,
like it might have been a year since the first synth body to now. Maybe we're not for sure. And so they convince Joe to come with them, and like. The Xenomorph is stalking them the entire time. Like,
oh yeah, that is a thing. That happens in the films, or at least the good early ones. This show does well, which is so many horror movies. It's this thing's super stealthy. It's gonna kill you, and then they're just up here. And I know they haven't seeded it. Whereas the good films in the Alien franchise, you do see movement in the background. You see the alien stalking people, and it does that here.
Yeah, and so like they're walking and talking, and like it's just casual conversation
until Slightly lets slip that Wendy's.
Well, like so. Wendy mentions that she just turned 12 or 13. Yeah. He's like,
what? How's that possible? They're like, oh, we're hybrid synths basically.
Yeah, and she mentions that she just turned 12 or 13. He's like, my little sister would have just turned 12 or 13, whatever the age was.
Yeah,
and Slightly goes, that's because she is your little sister. And Wendy is like, the fuck are you doing?
Secret. Because before they arrived
on the airship too.
Yeah. Slightly noticed that she seemed worried / out of it, and she confided in him that she was actually going to try to find her brother, but it was a secret and don't tell anyone. And then he immediately reveals it to said brother.
No, he also immediately revealed it to Shmi.
Yeah.
But yeah, and she's like, Slightly.
Yeah. And Joe's like, no, my sister's dead. Prodigy and my dad told me that. And she's like, no, Dad said it was a secret and we couldn't tell you, but the Prodigy people would make me better.
And they made me better by killing my physical body.
The flesh was weak, but the spirit was willing.
So in a lot of ways, they didn't lie to you. I did die.
And he's like, no, that's impossible. And there's the bit of like, prove it, don't prove it. Like, he's not accepting it. And then they do the furry fury thing.
And then he's like, what about this specific thing? And she's like, this is the thing that you're talking about. He's like,
he asked, what did you say Christmas morning, blah, 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 blah. And her response was, I still don't think my big toe looks like my thumb.
Which, wild, but like, again, like that is something
a wild thing that most people aren't going to fucking know.
Yeah, and so he's like, his mind is like shattered at this point. Yep. And like, they're trying to continue on and he's just standing there and they're like, we need to go.
Yeah. So they eventually make it to the front of the ship where there's just some eggs sitting, surrounded by like some see-through cargo containers that are holding something else. And when they enter in between them, a blue light goes off above them that's like a little above waist height, and I don't know its purpose, but it's there as they're walking through it.
Mm-hmm.
And then they get to the edge of the front where there's a giant hole.
Yeah, from where the ship...
And they're looking down, when all of a sudden an alien appears out of nowhere and tackles Joe out of the ship.
And then Wendy looks at Shmi and Slightly and goes, stay here.
And they're both like, wait, Wendy, what are you doing? Stop.
And she jumps off the ledge.
And that is the end of episode 2.
It's a good cliffhanger. Or cliff diver, I guess, technically.
Cliff diver,
yeah. Justice, what'd you think, and would you watch more Alien Earth?
I really, really do appreciate the xenomorph stalking them in the background. It's just a nice little thing.
Yeah.
And it's so easy to ignore or not do because it's not necessary, but it adds just like a little depth of realism that obviously is not a thing you normally have in super sci-fi stuff because, well, realism kind of is thrown out the window. And I appreciate it a lot. Other than that, this episode, I think, might be a little bit weaker than the first episode.
Yeah.
It has more jokes.
I also don't appreciate how fast they resolve or how fast they like create the Marcy Joe dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would appreciate it a little bit more slow burn there. But
the only other upside is I don't think it's intentional, but when she originally leaves the island, she like rips the cutter off of a paper cutter.
Yeah.
So it's a little sword, and apparently her back is magnetic. By the way, neat. And she's wearing like a jumpsuit, and the way
she just slaps it on the back on her back.
She's wearing a jumpsuit, and with the way her hair is cut, standing in profile, which we one or two shots of, it just gives major like Battle Angel Alita vibes. I went, neat.
Also, a long time ago for us, we played a RPG where we played versions of ourselves in a zombie apocalypse, and like it started at our high school, and like the first weapons we had were the blades off of paper cutters. Because like
you just remove a safety bolt and you're good.
Yeah, and you basically have like
a machete,
a hatchet maybe. Ours had like a wood back to it, so it was more like a hatchet, like a long bladed hatchet. Than
not all of them. There were some that were more machetes. They didn't have any edging or anything.
Yeah, hers doesn't have any like protective edging on the backside of it, so it is basically just a machete.
Mm-hmm.
And we haven't got to see her use it yet.
Except it's like slider and lither, so it's more like a short tonto.
Yeah, but we haven't actually got to see her use it yet. I assume episode 3 is the first time she actually like breaks that bad puppy out.
I would love for her to never use it.
Just carry it on her back the entire time.
Just the aesthetics.
She's like, Battle Angel Alita. My brother's favorite movie is Ice Age 2.
Mine was Battle Angel Alita.
My brother is so lame.
We just haven't shown any clips because Disney doesn't own that one yet.
But yeah, so you would watch more, I think?
Yeah, I'd watch more. What are your thoughts?
I like it. Xenomorph kills get gory fast, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Like, and not just like blood splatter and everywhere, like...
We're going to whip this body around as it sprays a bit of blood and shoots bullets.
There was one specific... it's the guy who, like, the alien, like, shoots its tongue out.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, bites out his, like... throat or eye, I don't remember. And like, because I don't know if you know this about aliens, audience, but their tongue has a mouth on it.
Yeah.
Because not only do they have a mouth, but they have a tongue mouth.
Yep.
And
I don't understand what biological purpose that serves, but I'm down with it.
I guess it's like a straw, basically, like a built-in straw. So
maybe, yeah.
I think it actually might just like shoot and bite out his chest, like his heart. It's gory as fuck, though. Yeah. Or it's his neck.
Some vital piece of his body.
It was very bloody, very gory. And I was like, fuck, this is on TV right now? That's wild.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I would watch more. It kind of makes me like want to watch through the like 7 movie franchise that is Alien.
Don't do it.
I might. Chris is doing it right now. He just watched the first Alien movie today.
Don't do it.
For Horrortoberfest.
Just play Alien Isolation. You're fine.
Look, I'm busy binge watching Sons of Anarchy. I don't have time for sci-fi horror movie series.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'd probably watch more. I think that, though, is going to be the end of our review of Alien Earth, which unfortunately was not a Discovery documentary like I thought it was going to be.
No, I kept expecting David Attenborough.
And as you
Except,
see,
this is a very weird show, so I could have accepted Werner Herzog, like I said. Like, that's a bit more out there.
But yeah, the name should have been a documentary and not an Alien spinoff, but what can you do? Anyways, if you want to take a flight with us in the future or contact us, and we promise we won't crash into a building that is completely owned by a corporation and then
I make no promises.
Release alien test subjects out into the wild. You can contact us and look forward to future flights by reaching out to us at copilotsreview@bluesky.com.
Or you can email us at copilotsreview@gmail.com.
Or you can find both of those links at copilotsreview.simplecast.com, which also has links to our YouTube, our Discord, our Patreon.
Maybe some other stuff, I don't know.
It's a lot. But you can also find us on YouTube, like I said. Our YouTube channel is now fully up to date, and we'll be releasing episodes as we release episodes. The backlog is finished uploading, so every single episode of Copilots Review is now available to listen to on YouTube. And yes, technically watch. It does have like a little sound.
It is a visualizer.
Yeah.
For the sound, but not like the cool PlayStation 1 visualizer.
PlayStation 1 visualizer is still peak. I don't know, fuck, where did we go wrong? Sony, please bring it back. But anyways.
Thanks for flying, and please fly again soon.